Welcome to Massenomics, the world's strongest podcast. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Massenomics. Make sure you go visit Massenomics.com. There you'll find the rest of our powerful content. While you're there, check out our store and buy yourself some of that sweet Massenomics gear.
I'm already realizing I want to take the sweatshirt off.
I get hot in the middle of
Yeah, it's the headphones.
I remember watching or listening to a podcast, and like, people don't understand that podcasting is hot, sweaty work. Like, you have to turn off fans. You're usually in a room. Depending on how serious you are, there's like insulation to like stop sound. Oh yeah.
It is the worst work, right?
It's a dirty job, but somebody's gonna do it. Mike Rowe should try it. It's a dirty job.
He actually does. He has one. It's pretty good.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, guys, we're back in the basement here in Massenomics Studio, live on video and audio. Is that correct?
Video.
We are recording.
I had to double check.
We're pretty sure we're recording.
I see the red blinking light over there.
This one's blinking, so we're rolling 2 cameras deep today, maybe 3.
3.
Probably 3. Yeah. So
you can see
anyway,
up our nose hairs and all
we're
that.
trying to work. We're trying to work this angle in here because we have one camera that sits way at the table, and so most of the footage is like, you know, right there. But yeah, so we're here. It's another week. I don't know. There's not a whole lot new that's gone on in the world of Massenomics this week, other than that. By now, we hope that you have checked out our. I wouldn't call it an expose, but our comprehensive coverage of the of general leathercraft and Pioneer belts. Quite a bit of feedback on that, Tanner, haven't we?
Yeah, it's everything that we have heard has been pretty good. You know, Pioneer posted quite a bit about it, a few posts, and I saw a lot of feedback on their stuff of people that really liked it.
Yeah. In depth would be a good word for it too.
Yeah.
We went through it, and it was so good that we had I don't know, we were like, it's just so long. Like, you don't really see things like that on the internet where it's like 12 pages.
Well, they might be there, but it's probably not the websites you're going to, Tyler.
Definitely not. But we got so I was like, well, we'll see what we can condense down, and I spent like a painstaking amount of time, and it was like everything I took out was like, fuck, I don't know, but it's like, it's just got to be shorter. So we just start cutting. And at the point where I think I had completely compromised the entire article, and it was still 7 pages long. I was like, and then I think we came to the consensus, we're like, well, fuck it. It's just going to be long. Let's just leave it the way it was. But it's good. I mean, it was, I don't know that there's probably anything that comprehensive on them out there.
No, there's not anything that comprehensive on many people out there. Like,
yeah, and if there is, it's definitely not on the internet because we couldn't find it anywhere. So.
Yeah.
No, I think it's really good. Matt, the president of Pioneer, I think he really appreciated it.
Yeah.
He wanted to figure out a way to have that on his site also because he doesn't have anything out there that's, you know, that much detail on the history of his company.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And of course, then after you know, because I didn't do the interview and I didn't do most of the writing, I just kind of looked it over. But by the time I was done with it, I think I'd gone through 3 or 4 complete custom belt builds on the website. I was like, add to cart, and then like, fuck.
Yeah, you can invest a lot of money in a belt if you want to.
I think, Tanner, you said one of the funnier things of kind of the feedback from the article is someone contacted Massenomics wanting to buy a belt. It's like, well, good try.
Yeah, to our get big at Massenomics.com email address, you know, they emailed us through our website after reading the article and said, how do I buy one of these? Like, well,
I feel like that's what the entire article was about, telling you where you could buy one of these and why you should buy one of these.
And then you pointed them to a reading comprehension course.
and then like, I think the entire end of the article led you directly to how you can buy them and where you click. And it was
Could
good.
never make it easy enough.
that is true.
But well, you got, I don't know if we talked about that. You've got your custom belt or custom lever.
Yeah, I got the I had a pretty basic lever belt before, you know, and I felt like after talking to Matt and looking at all these other cool belts.
You didn't want that basic gym bro look anymore?
I was like, man,
ready to upgrade?
I'm a basic bitch. So I got the lever. It's matte red with the Massenomics logo engraved in it in black. And
I was surprised by how small they can actually engrave that stuff.
Yeah.
The Massenomics letters, I would understand if in that design if they got sort of illegible, and they were really, really, the quality was good.
Yeah, because I was considering doing just the logo without Massenomics written underneath of it, and I was like, oh, I'll just send it off and see what they say, and they didn't even feedback on it, and it looks perfect.
Yeah.
I think they can do some pretty fine detail on that too.
Yeah, must be the power of lasers or something.
Lasers. It looks really cool though. Any of that stuff you certainly have to pay for it. It's not for free by any means, but I don't know.
But can you put a price on looking good though? I think that's really what
That's the only way I've found that you can ever get any stronger too, is just by trying to make yourself look a little bit better.
At the very least, you got to have some new cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it's already paying dividends for you because you hit a squat PR for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, it was a gym PR at least for me.
Yeah.
So, and that's at least a solid year on that. And I didn't have my new lever before. I went 12 months without hitting a PR. And
what else could it be?
Yeah. And then give it within a month of having my new Pioneer lever and bam.
I would say that's where all the credit goes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit. How did that was Friday night? Was that something you had in the back of your mind, or did you just kind of roll it? Things just kind of snowballed and you said, fuck it, I'm going to go for it?
No, I just finished a recent 8-week training cycle. So I was kind of planning on doing some heavy singles. I wasn't planning on doing, more in the gym than I ever have before. I really just wanted to do over 500 because I hadn't had over 500 on my back in several months, probably not since the last powerlifting meet I did in March of last year.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to do 500, and with the bow bar is what I was using. I think it came out to 502. And that just moved really easy, so I did more. I think I did 522 after that, and that moved pretty good again, so I just did more again. And, I didn't want to do anything that was like... I didn't want to miss anything. I just don't really like missing lifts, so I wasn't picking any numbers. If 502 would have been really hard, I would have just stopped there. Mm-hmm. But then 522 moved pretty good, so I went to 537. And I could have maybe tried another attempt after that of something... 5 to 10 pounds heavier again, but like I said, I just don't want to miss, so maybe down the road.
Yeah, and
I'll save that for
the
another
537 still moved pretty fast, so I think it's safe to say there's more there.
Yeah, but I always
that was
prefer
also
to...
the one, like everything was so crisp, and then at 537 is one where it's like, now that looks like that got heavy.
Yeah, that was
like,
the
it did
first...
look like it got heavy.
Yeah, that was the first one where I was like, okay, that's like... When it gets really heavy for me on a squat, I start to forward lean, collapse my body forward, and that was the first one where I could feel that starting to be an issue. So I could fight through heavier ones, but it just is going to require more of a good morning and not good technique, so that was a good place to stop. And I'd always prefer to leave some in the tank. I'd rather think of like what is possible coming up rather than knowing on that day. Rather than if I would have went to 545 and missed it.
Yeah.
Been like, well, I know I can't do 545 right now.
Yeah. And that video will be on Instagram by the time this comes out?
Yeah, I guess I haven't put it on. There's been so many good things going on at the gym. I haven't got to put it on. I didn't want to hog the space for myself, so that should be on there eventually.
It's just like a daily highlight reel down there.
It is, because...
It's actually getting that way.
Yeah, because Big Larry was squatting heavy this week too.
Yeah.
And he did 535 in sleeves and 555 in wraps, which were...
Yep.
He hasn't had more than 495 on his back.
Probably close to a year.
The same thing as me.
Yeah.
And he's got a full power meet coming up in 3 weeks, so he needed to kind of do that.
Test the waters.
Because even if you're 80 or 85% for sets of 3 or sets of 5 or whatever it is you do, even though if you know that that's moving well, you still sometimes just need to put a little more weight on your back because you just never... It's just
you
that
just
feeling
start to
of not
second
knowing.
guess yourself. Yeah.
Like that's 50 more pounds. Even though I was doing this weight for 5 reps, and I'm going to just try and do 15% more for one, it's still 50 more pounds or 70 more pounds. Like, it's just it's just a big difference, especially in squat. I feel like having that weight rest on your back.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So there comes a time when if your goal is to do a 1 rep max like it would be in a powerlifting meet, you eventually have to do some singles or doubles or something more than just 5 reps all the time.
Yep.
Is what I think.
And like starting to like figure out how you're going to space those jumps too. Like to come into that with no idea. And you start taking like in a meet, like a 40 pound jump. Mm-hmm. And I think shit would catch up to you real quickly.
For sure. And that's another reason why when I did it, I kind of took 3 heavier singles, because it's just kind of like, well, 3 heavy singles makes sense to me. Yeah. It's relative to a meet that way, the 3 attempts you would take there.
And now Larry, what all did Larry put up again? That was...
He did
535 and
555.
Yeah.
And Larry has squatted, I think, 567 in wraps in a meet before. Mm-hmm. So he's probably in that neighborhood now. I could see, he wrapped his own knees and he didn't do it he didn't put a ton of effort into it. If you have someone else wrap it, they can really get them cranked on pretty tight.
Yeah.
And, he does well in meets, so his adrenaline through a meet and everything could carry him I could see him easily doing 10, 15 more pounds than that. Mm-hmm. When I squatted, I was using the bow bar too. That's the first time I've gone heavy with the bow bar, and that's saving me right now because coming back from a shoulder issue. Usually when I squat, especially heavy, my shoulders would be an issue getting into that position, and I didn't have to even think about it whatsoever.
It did make that big of a difference.
Yeah, because I also took a really wide grip this time with it too, and I honestly, my shoulders and elbows were completely out of my mind, not thinking about that whatsoever, so it just allowed me to focus on the actual movement of the squat like I would like to.
Yeah. So
it's the first time I've used it for heavy work like that, and I was pleased with that. So the difficult part is to know when I need to... if I'm just relying on that and can't go back to a regular bar to do it, if I lose too much mobility or just ability to get in that position. But I don't know. It's saving me right now, so I'm going to continue to do it.
Yeah, it's probably would be the only way you'd be able to do it, right? I mean, you...
Yeah, I could get under the bar and do it, and it would be painful, and I think it would maybe be a setback. It's certainly not going to help my recovery from a shoulder injury. So
speaking of which, Nick had quite the contraption too with his shoulder issue.
Yeah, so that's a zercher harness. Is that what the official term is?
I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
I've actually never seen one.
I looked it up online. That's Westside Barbell makes it, and it is just the zercher harness. There's other versions of them out there, but this one is I think $320. My internet is not going to work in this basement.
Is that how much that one was?
Yeah, $320. But when you look at, I'll see if I can pull this up if this will work.
Because did you say Westside Bar?
It's a Westside Bar. Yep.
Westside Barbell.
But I will see if
they don't give that away then, do they?
No, they don't. But did you get to handle it a little bit?
Yeah, it's
it's solid.
Yeah, it doesn't fuck around. That's for sure. I told Nick that foam that's on the inside, it's really dense but still really soft.
Yeah.
And it was I felt it. I was like, I want my floors like this. If I could get socks in this material.
It is certainly well built.
Yeah.
But yeah, the picture though that they have online for it is where they sell it looks terribly uncomfortable. And I just can't believe that's the only image they have of it. I sent it to a guy to check out just to see what he thought of it, and I said, just trust me, it doesn't look as odd. It doesn't. The pictures that they put on there do not make it look like a $300 product. That's for damn sure.
Well, Westside's pictures on their entire website are
the whole
actually
website's
terrible.
probably
Westside Barbell is not known for their photography skills.
No, I think most of the pictures are from 1985
from the archives.
Yeah. But with that thing, so it's got kind of 2 positions you can set the bar in, one lower that you could do more similar to a zercher style squat or rack pull, and then the other one is up higher where you can do a front squat.
And for people who aren't familiar with what a zercher squat is.
Yeah, you would hold your arms out in front of you, make a crease with the inside of your elbows or in between your forearm and bicep, and hold the bar in there so it's in front of your body, and do a squat with it.
So here is the only image that they have on the website of the Zercher harness. So it's not the best quality in there. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this on the old video here. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty legit. I don't know. It was built really stout. I think. How the hell else are you gonna squat or deadlift without? Especially coming off a shoulder injury.
Does his the one that Louis, I think that's Louis Simmons in that picture. Does that one have the front rack spot on it too?
It doesn't look like it in that picture.
So their picture isn't even
the one that
they're using. It doesn't even have like one of its main features, because you can do it like a front squat too.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even show that.
Well, web design probably is not number one priority at Westside Barbell. That's why they're all so strong.
It's their dog thing. Their logo kind of uses a Zercher harness of sorts too. Doesn't it?
Does. The doggy Zercher harness. That's probably not out yet. That could be a Massenomics product, probably.
Yeah,
we'll test that on.
Put that on the store.
Yeah, is that Fletch there?
That's not Fletch.
Do you think he could Zercher 315 or whatever that is?
Nope. He could lay down pretty hard though. Oh shit! But yes, because Nick's got he's going to be having shoulder surgery, rotator cuff. Right?
Yeah, rotator cuff surgery. He's figuring out workarounds before.
Yeah,
he even has to. Yeah. Because he still would like to compete at USAPL Nationals, which would be in Orlando in October or November 2017, whenever that is.
Yeah.
And so his plan is to hopefully be recovered and able to compete in that. And technically, the way the rules work, it sounds like he's already qualified for it, even just because of his last meet. You have so many months that it can qualify you.
Yeah.
So he should not even have to compete in 2017 and still be qualified to make that meet.
Across all classes, or is that how Masters works?
I don't know for sure. The way he said it, I thought it would be all classes, but I really don't know. Yeah. But I do trust that he did his homework.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt that he's right about
it. I believe his word over what it says in like
anywhere.
Official. Yeah.
So.
And then what did you squat?
Oh yeah.
A PR too. See, that was another thing that had to fill the Instagram. So.
Oh yeah, I did 5 sets of 5 at 405 for squats, which anytime you get another plate on there, that's a good milestone. So that was a pretty exciting one. I'd actually been thinking about that day for like and I put it in my programming like 6 weeks ago. It's like, that one is going to be tricky. And it actually didn't feel too bad. I really wasn't even that sore afterwards. And it wasn't like my last set was nothing left in the tank. So I felt pretty good about it.
Mm-hmm. They all moved, all 25 of them.
Yeah.
Moved probably pretty good and pretty similar.
Yeah, actually, even the 5th set I think might have moved better than some of the ones before it even. So that's always exciting when that can keep moving the way it is.
Yeah, especially like you said, the plate milestone.
Yeah, we like to get stronger 90 pounds at a time.
That's right. Yeah.
Bare minimum 50 if you're using 25s.
Yeah, 50s will take, 35s are always a little better than 25s on that. But
the problem is we don't have very many 35-pound weights in our gym, so you got to kind of go searching.
They don't get used too much though, so it's.
Not related to that, but I just thought of something that I've been meaning to bring up to you guys for weeks on here.
Oh boy!
Is the internet kind of up and running?
Yeah, I think I got it running.
Can you? Are you on Instagram?
I can be.
There's an account I'd really like you to pull up.
Okay.
I'm getting excited here.
What's it called?
Mint Tradition, I think, would be the name of the account, and I just wait. I'm gonna wait and see if this comes up as the right thing here. All right, perfect. Mint Tradition are these hats that are made from leather. I met the guy that runs this company. It's him and John Elway's son.
Okay.
They're based out of Colorado, I think Denver. and they make these hats. Would you guys like to guess what he typically sells one of these hats for?
Okay, so
I feel like
they're just an all leather hat.
Well,
Yeah.
they're just high-end hats. I don't know. Like a lot of them are leather, yes.
Well,
I'm gonna guess this is going to be an offensive amount of money.
I was gonna say $80 to $100.
Oh, I'm guessing like $200.
Okay, so I won't tell you the answer yet. I'll tell you how the story went.
Okay.
Yeah, does this story cover why you met these people?
Yeah.
Okay, this is what, I'm actually more curious about that than the price of these hats.
And does John Elway's son cool?
I didn't meet him. I met
Okay.
his partner
Oh, okay.
that works with John Elway's son. I don't know about. I'll get to that part of it, but I was at a bar in Rapid City, South Dakota.
How recently are we talking here?
This was maybe a month and a half ago.
Okay.
Actually, it was over Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And we were out, and I was with my wife and some of her siblings and those of us that were younger and wanted to not just hang out and do the family Thanksgiving stuff every night. And we were at the bar, and several of us were wearing Massenomics hats, or a few of us. I'm sure, and a couple my brother-in-laws probably were wearing theirs. And one of them, I think my sister-in-law was talking to this guy, and he's like, "Well, I make hats. I make hats for a living. That's what I do." And she, knew I would be interested in that with the hats, the Massenomics hats that we sell. So I went over there and talked to him, and I thought we were gonna maybe talk shop a little bit with him. I was kind of curious, like, what maybe he could offer like something cool that we're not doing now, or like a better pricing, or I just kind of wanted to pick his brain on it.
Yeah.
Snakeskin hats.
And he started explaining it to me, and within a couple minutes, I got the feeling that we're probably not on the same wavelength.
In completely different markets.
That we do not have the same hats.
And he was pretty drunk, and probably he was talking quite a bit, and I don't know what is exactly true and what's exactly not true at this point. But anyways, moral of the story is his hats. What was your guess, Tyler?
Like $200?
Well, you're both too short, and Tyler, you're about a third of the way there.
Jesus.
He's selling these hats for $600 a piece.
Oh my
Holy
gosh.
hell.
Like leather boots don't usually cost that much. Like good leather boots.
So
And Tommy knows leather boots. Here we got a basic for $210, and this is like not even really leather.
yeah, that's
That's like just the
like that kind of looks like one of our hats with a leather patch sewed on it.
yeah.
Well, that's probably what it is.
Man, this is gonna be the customs. Holy shit.
So I'd been meaning to bring this up to you guys for a while.
That is interesting. They're definitely riding that Denver vibe.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
But hey, I suppose if you get some Denver players rocking those things, you get
And
their
that's what they
endorsement.
did. I asked, I was like, so who's buying these? Like who is paying $500 for a hat?
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, there was, and like he said if a couple players bought them, then
They were done with sales for the year.
well, no, he's like then like
it would catch
four
on.
other, 5 other ones would be like,
Yeah.
oh, I need one of those,
Yeah.
So, did you ask them how they ever got in with Denver players then?
Well, I assume it was the John Elway son connection.
Yeah, that'll help, I guess.
The provider intervened.
But I think this is goes in line with the theory of if you want your product to be viewed as higher end, you just
Simply charge more.
so this is the extreme of that.
Yeah.
Like
Well, what was the thing? Like Beats headphones, they were like the total loaded cost to produce a pair of Beats headphones is like $13, and they charge $350 for the studio ones. And
not a bad margin.
from a quality standpoint, from like audio quality, they're on par with about $80 to $100 pair sets of headphones. And build quality, they're on like durability, they're on par with about $30 headphones.
Yeah, you're just paying for marketing.
Paying a lot of money for that name.
Yeah,
But
one more thing about those. He
so
said
anyway, in Massenomics now we've got $400 hats. Same hats.
they're just better.
We just don't have to sell as many of them to make any money.
We just have to sell one instead of 30. The straps on the back, of the hat.
Uh-huh.
You know, it would be the ones that look like a watch band.
Yep.
Because
Oh,
he
yeah.
said they use recycled Rolex leather watch
Oh,
band
really?
as the as the hat band.
That is really senseless. What they should do is just have them buy a Rolex.
That just seems so hard to
Cut the
verify in
watch
any way,
off.
though.
Cut the
Yeah.
watch off the
was-
bands, throw the watch portion in the garbage, and then put it on the back of the hats and charge $10,000 for that.
Yeah. Unless they're like stamping, like unless the Rolex
Yeah.
watch band is stamped, which it probably is, I guess, if it's Rolex.
When I was in Mexico, I had my eye on a few fake Rolexes while I was there, just to flash around while I'm going through the airport and stuff. But they still wanted like $40 for it, and I was like, "Well, but it's a fake watch. Like, can it be like the fake Ray-Bans I got for $3?"
Yeah.
Like nobody was trying to be like, "Well, these are real Ray-Bans. It should be $15." You know, it's like, no, we all know that they're fake. Mm-hmm. Just give me the fake Rolex. I'll give you $10.
Yeah.
But anyway, so enough.
So I ordered a couple. I guess.
Okay.
So enough shitting on this brand that we don't know
I
anything
mean,
about.
I guess if you're into
it's-
buying like way expensive stuff, like if you want something that's more expensive than what anyone else has,
The front of your hat is made from leather from a gorilla face.
Did you say the whole conversation started because he saw your hat?
no, because he was talking to someone else in our group and he was talking about how he makes hats, and then they knew that I would be, so they like waved me over like, "Hey, this guy."
I have a hat guy for you.
Yeah, yeah. And
Maybe they could just make us one. Like, would you pay?
what would you want to wear it?
Would you pay
The
$300
Massenomics mint
$300
collabo?
$300 for one?
No, I don't.
You
think
I
know-
don't
so.
know. What if it was really awesome just to have one?
When we get invited to some award show someday, that could probably be
Yeah.
a good piece of
I
attire to
suppose,
have.
Yeah, that'll be happening pretty soon.
Yeah.
I would put that with my other like overly fancy things that you end up never using or wearing just because they're
Too fancy to
yeah.
wreck.
You're like you know, God, I don't want to wreck it. So then you just
Yeah.
never use it in your
Yeah.
entire life.
Yeah.
That's where that would go.
I've got so this week, guys. I've started an operation try to use my sleep apnea machine again. So
Oh, you've had one of those?
yeah, I've got like the craziest, most aggressive machine apparently you can buy.
Did you have that before when you were heavier?
No.
Okay.
Well, so it was all kind of part of the same process. So when I tried to like stop being a fat dude, I was like, well, I should probably address this snoring thing too, because I heard that not breathing while you're asleep is bad for you. So
Like
why,
not
but-
breathing's bad, you're saying?
I guess
Okay. Well, whatever.
that's what they told me. So yeah, so I was like, well, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna get this figured out then. So it was about the same time. Like I had started working out. I was maybe down like 15 pounds or something at that time. And normally when they take you in, they do the sleep study. They strap all the shit on you, and they at like a really unreasonable time too. It's like 8:15, and they're like, "Okay, well, just shut your phone off and go ahead and shut the TV and lights off, and it's time to go to bed." And I'm like, "Well, no." I sit and look at my phone for 2 hours before I fall asleep. That's what I do. And so they made me just lay there, and I guess I finally fell asleep. And I guess what they're supposed to do is wait like at least a couple of hours before they're like, for sure, like this dude's got sleep apnea. And then they start trying masks and like pressures and shit with you. So they can kind of prescribe the machine that you need and the pressures you need in one overnight. So you don't have to do two. I go there and like I'm asleep and they come in right away. And it had been like a half an hour. And she's like, normally we have to wait a couple hours, but it's really bad. So they started strapping shit onto me. Anyway, go through all this stuff, have to pay a fucking arm and a leg because of what they do for insurance.
Where
and
do you
selling
do this
these
at
things.
even?
Just a hospital. They have like a,
Oh, there
a
is,
sleep
okay.
center. Yeah. But so the machine, I go in to pick it up, and the lady who like has to take me through how to use it says, "Wow, that must be a pretty special case." She said, because if we needed any more pressure than what you have this set to on this, you'd have to be on like a full-on respirator, which is like for people that just don't breathe.
Yeah.
Like if you're incapable of breathing, they just stick you on a respirator. So it does that for you until you. And so that's like the amount of pressure I have. So when
they say so what is that? Like the amount of air it's forcing?
It just it basically blows air in, so it creates pressure inside it. So I'm not a doctor, but my understanding is
But your email address says it.
Yes. There's two types of sleep apnea. There's obstructive, which is like kind of what I thought I had. I was big and fat, and all that stuff lays on your neck, and you know from that, and it blocks your sleep apnea. So that's obstructive. The other is central, where basically your nervous system just isn't telling your body to breathe.
Your brain's just
brain's broken.
Just too stupid.
Yep, and that's exactly it. Basically that's the version I have was that. So I told her, I was like, well, I've been trying to lose weight. If I lose another 30 pounds, can I not use this? And she was like, no, you just have to use this forever. I'm like, fuck. So I started using the thing. It was such a pain in the ass. Like, you know,
can you lay on your side or not?
Kind of, but like there's so much pressure on mine that if I had it in the nose, there's some that just go over your nose, and that's like the most comfortable way to do it. If I had it like that, it would just blow my mouth open. And they make like a strap around your jaw to keep that on. But like even then, it's just too weird. It's too much pressure. My nose isn't. I don't breathe. It's kind of stuffy all the time.
Yeah.
And so I tried for I suppose a few weeks with it, and then I just kind of stopped using it because I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I'd have like an episode. And what mine does is instead of just being a CPAP, which is constant pressure, it just keeps a little pressure in there, holds your airway open. Mine senses when I'm breathing in and when I'm breathing out, what the change in pressure is, and then says, oh shit, he's not breathing. Let's fucking crank it up to whatever it takes to get me to take in. And so imagine if you're sleeping, as far as you know, you're in the deepest depths of sleep, and then all of a sudden someone just stuffs a leaf blower in your mouth and cranks it on. You know, it's the fucking worst. And it would be in the middle of the night, and then I couldn't ever get back down from that panic, and I just ripped the thing off, and I wasn't getting hardly any use out of it. So then I didn't touch it again for, really until this is now like my third or fourth day. And so that's why I'm saying this on the podcast, so that I have some sort of accountability to do it. But
so is it helping you sleep now? Second go around
here?
Yeah,
I still have issues in the middle of the night somewhere, but I think if I can like wake up and deal with it and then just like keep the mask on, and because it's very easy to just tear it off and go to sleep. Mm-hmm. But I don't have trouble falling asleep with it. But I have a hard time if I get woke up by it to keep it on.
So do you feel better the next day when you wear it, or like?
So what it's been lately now. So it logs like all this data. So I've been checking it every morning because I don't really know how long I've had it on. I try not to check my phone once I go to sleep. And so the first night I got only like 2.5 hours on it. And I was like, fuck, I'll try again. The next night.
What do you mean 2.5 hours on it?
2.5 hours of me using it, basically, of me asleep with it running.
Okay.
So it'll count like how much actual sleep I got.
Okay.
And that was about 2.5 hours before I took it off, which is not good, but that's 2.5 hours.
Like, are you taking it off consciously, or while you're sleeping, do you not even really
Sometimes,
realize it?
yeah, okay. usually. Okay. And that's the thing too, is it's not something like, it's like, oh, it's a little leak, here, like when it's at full output, like a little leak is just like in your fucking face, and it's yeah, it's awful. It's awful. It'll like makes crazy squeaky noises, like when you open a balloon, like it's a pretty uncomfortable thing to have. That's why the nose one I think is the most popular, because it doesn't take up all this space on your face. But then the next night I got like 4.8 hours, and I think the next was like 4.5 hours. I think this morning I got like 5.6 hours on it. As of for last night.
A new PR.
But both of them, but like all of those times, like the 4 hours or more, I'm actually waking up, and I've been laying awake probably at like 4:30 in the morning on. And I don't think it's because I'm having trouble sleeping. I think it's because I actually got 4.5 hours of real sleep, which is probably 4 hours more of real sleep than I've ever gotten. Mm-hmm. But did you guys see the thing with Brian Shaw on his sleep apnea
I never have.
I don't think so.
I don't remember what the thing was, and I'm near certain it was Shaw. We started talking about he started getting numbness in his hands and stuff, and his fingertips, and he couldn't figure it out. And finally, they tested him, and he ended up having sleep apnea, and they put him on the machine because they said like he was starting to go to like organ failure at night, from his blood oxygen levels get too low.
I suppose weighing 440
That's
pounds.
what I just assumed. Like once you broke the 300 barrier, it was almost like a requirement to just start having.
Well, and that's the thing I had read too with power lifters. Like if you're a super heavyweight lifter, you're a 300-pound lifter, that you probably have it.
Yeah.
I think they say like 1 in 10 adults have it or something like that.
The measure I've also heard too is your neck diameter. For every like quarter inch larger that your neck gets,
and they say that basically if you're over 17-inch neck in general, you should go do a sleep study.
Yeah.
Go home and measure my neck. Neck goals
and things.
Yeah. Neck while you got the tape out. But
set some other
so actually Eddie Hall was the same thing. He has a sleep apnea machine, and I think you pretty much have to. But I don't think the importance of sleep for like strength training can be understated. I'd say it's as critical as it's probably more critical than your actual training for sure.
I know like Stan Efferding always talks about how like when he was in his world record stages, he was sleeping like 12 hours a day, napping like an hour or two a day.
Yeah.
And he's like, basically you just eat, sleep, and lift. That was it.
Yeah. That was what I'm trying to think of how he worded it too. He's like, you don't, what was it? Don't run when you can walk.
Yeah.
Don't stand when you can sit. And if you can be in bed asleep, be there.
Yeah.
But so I'm hoping I can fucking get over that like 4 or 5 hour deal, and then get it ramped up to where.
So do you just sleep on your back the entire time?
No, I don't really have that much control over
you're
it.
not
I'm a toss and turner, so it's
ya?
really weird having a fucking elephant trunk on my face that is gonna peel open. But
yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, my microphone doesn't like the phone, does it?
Yeah, do it again. Let's hear it.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it's fucking iPhone.
Do you
figures?
Are you
You guys are live.
Are you
live?
Do you sleep on your back, Tanner?
Yeah, I do. Or my back or my side. I don't know how it's physically possible for people to sleep on their stomach.
Oh no, I
That's
used
not
to
a thing.
actually.
Is that a thing that people do?
Yeah, lots of people do it. And that was like for me, if I'd have to wake up in the morning, a lot of times I would roll over to my stomach because I couldn't fall back asleep. So that was like a guarantee that I would be up. But yeah, I've had friends that are like, oh, I sleep on my stomach the whole night, and that's just.
Where do your arms
like,
go?
yeah,
What do you do with your face?
Yeah, how do you fix your neck in the morning so you can like walk around again?
I would need one of those beds that has the hole,
like a massage bed.
Yeah. Otherwise, where do you how do you breathe?
Every time I end up in at a massage table, I get my face in that thing, and I realize right away that like, fuck, I got horrible breath right now. Every time you get in one of those things. or your sinuses, when you're face down like that, your sinuses, everything just starts coming out your nose, and your hands are occupied, so there's no getting up and wiping anything out of the way.
Grayson said he sleeps on his stomach. He said it's the best.
Oh, that's bullshit.
He's a smaller type of person though. Like I mean, he's
Grayson's
Grayson's got some muscle on him. He's got some muscle on him.
I'm not sure if he is someone that could find a comfortable way to sleep either.
Probably not. Yeah. Yeah.
See, I don't even like sleeping on my sides because it just. I think I'm usually the type of person that when I fall asleep, like I'm out, like I don't move, I'm just done for. And like if I fall asleep on my side, like the idea of sleeping on one side for like 6+ hours, my shoulders will get so sore from it. I usually just wake up, so I'll just pass out on my back, and that's usually the way I go.
Mm-hmm.
I think also I have cheap shitty pillows, and my solution is always to just buy more cheap shitty pillows. So we've got like 7 or 8 pillows in our bed. So I was like, well, this one now goes under my leg, and this one goes here.
Yeah.
And I got one that I kind of maybe put on my face sometimes.
Yep.
And I do all of that stuff. But that place I stayed, when I was in California, I'd never had there was a single pillow. And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. So I was going to pull the couch cushions off so I could up the pillow game. But that one pillow was the most comfortable pillow I've ever had in my life. And I could not find a tag on it for the life of me. I opened the pillow up. I got all weird about it. And I couldn't find.
Isn't it funny how you could not have a good pillow at home for like 3 years and not buy another? Like you just like you're there for 10 hours every single night of your life, and you just
deal with it.
Yeah, just be like, Nothing I can do about it. Can't not like I can get another pillow.
I've actually complained about how our pillows are bad for probably 2 years. I've not done anything about it.
You know, if only there was a pillow store around.
Same thing with like my pots and pans. We've had the same pots and pans since we got married, and I fucking hate all of them. And they all got shit burnt to the bottoms of them, and I never bought a new one.
A fresh pan, cooking on a fresh pan.
Oh, especially when it's a non-stick one. It's like, this is from the future. Like, what type of technology
I've
is
got
this?
an electric stove though, so it kind of sucks anyways.
Yeah. Yep. I'm right there with you on that one.
Yeah.
Our beginner self article would be out by the time this hits, I think, as well. If it's not, it'll be coming out really soon. But I think it'll actually be out by this. So what were each of you guys's, or the article, I guess, itself was us, us, each of the four of us giving ourselves a little piece of advice of what we would have done differently as a beginner when we were just getting into lifting. Yep. Do you remember what the gist of what your little piece of advice was to yourself?
Yeah, my thing was kind of the feedback of sort of getting involved and meeting people, like asking questions, like getting different input, because you can kind of like, especially when you're a beginner, you can kind of get stuck in this vacuum of thinking you're doing the right thing, but realizing that you're not at all, or thinking that you're trying hard, realizing that you're not at all. So I think getting that kind of that feedback loop going and like meeting other people, talking to other people is really helpful. And then the big one of just eating, like you can't be skinny and lifting. Like it just doesn't it doesn't add up.
You're just wasting your time.
Yeah.
Like keep eating 1,000 calories a day.
Yeah. And there's a difference between being skinny and being lean.
Right.
And when you're just skinny, like you don't have muscle, you don't really have fat, you don't have anything.
Right.
So yeah, you got to do some eating to get some growing going.
Do you remember what yours was, Tyler?
I think mine was pretty simple, because I think mine was basically just that I should probably start, sooner, start right away, because I'd done the hem and hawn and thing for a really long time, where I was like, well, yeah, I definitely should, but I don't want to, and I don't want to do. I'm actually looking at this article, and I haven't seen these images for the first time. This is the first time I've seen them. Definitely go to it. That's great. But I kind of knew what I needed to do for a really long time, and I just didn't do it. And once I started, it was really easy. And then you kick your own ass for all the time you lost. Kind of the same way with Tommy, along the same lines as Tommy's, where, shit, if you'd have just been doing the right stuff the whole time, how much further ahead would you be now? And if I'd have just got off my ass when I actually wanted to get off my ass, it would have been be a totally different place right now.
Yeah. And I know the thing that I was saying of talking to other people, it puts things into perspective. Like I know at the time I had gained a little weight just from eating more. And then one day talking to you, Tanner, when I didn't know you that well, you were telling me what you eat for breakfast. And I was like, oh, that's more than I eat in an entire day. So like getting someone else's perspective, you realize that really you're not doing much at all. So that is really helpful, especially when you're starting.
Do we have like 30,000 live views right now?
Yeah, there's actually 98,000 people watching right now. Yep. 98,000
people. Wow.
No, I won't reveal the real number, but it's more than I would. It's more than this warrants to be watching. Professor Shans isn't here to say his, but his was just basically that he needs to eat too.
Yeah.
Like quit eating like a bird, I think, or something along that is one of his quotes.
So that'll be at Massenomics.com. I'm sure ittle be somewhere in our Facebook feed as well.
Tanner, you also had some financial advice to yourself.
Oh,
I
yeah.
noticed.
Oh, yeah.
You slipped in a little extra.
Well, my real advice was
it's very clear cut.
Like just I'll see if I can put it on my camera here too. But the advice was fuck supplements.
So what exactly do you mean by that? People could take that different ways.
Well,
like is that a sexual thing?
Yeah, find a supplement that when you mix just a small amount of water with, it gets to be gelatinous, and then microwave it for 5 seconds.
It's about building relationships, really.
It's about friendship.
But no, just not even to say that. My point isn't even that supplements are all terrible, and it's not like I don't take any supplements, but more my point was I was worrying way too much about supplements and not near enough about my training and most
Training and
importantly
eating
my
and
actual
sleeping.
eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that is like the 2% when you could be worried about the 98%.
That's exactly what my quote is. Something like that. Like,
I must have just have that burned in my brain from 3 months ago.
And then my secret financial advice that I slipped in myself just in case because we were writing this like we were actually telling our beginner
You
self.
are within the rules with this, yeah.
So I think I told myself something about betting on the New York Giants in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, the undefeated Patriots.
Yep.
And then also investing more in Apple.
Yeah. And by more, all of it.
Yeah.
Just put all of your money in there.
Honestly, any of it.
There's no reason no reason to be conservative with that at all.
No, that's true.
Just go all in. About that too, I don't know if this is gonna pull up for me in time.
Flying Ryan said he just quit eating real food altogether and just go supplements.
Just all supplements. Supplements and butter. I've got this. I don't know how well this will show up either, but this was on is one of RP's kind of the way Renaissance periodization based it, and really that's the same. It's like calorie balance is most of it, food composition from there, and then macronutrients. Then later on, it's nutrient timing, and even less important than that is hydration, and then like the top least important thing is supplements.
Yeah.
But yeah, so many. It is pretty easy though to like just throw some money at it too, though. Like I still
Super
do it.
easy,
I still
yeah.
do it sometimes. Where
Like,
I
I
was
think
like,
if-
you know what? I got a big month ahead of me. I feel like I'm gonna kick a lot of ass. I should order some shit.
But I think if hamburger came in like a plastic tub with like a really shiny label on it, like people would get really excited to buy hamburger. Like if you bought creatine and it came or protein and it came in a black styrofoam tray with a wrap over the top of it and like a label that someone printed out on a printer from 50 years ago, you'd be like, this isn't that cool.
we need more
more marketing on
more extreme marketing instead of just where's the beef or
And you don't get to, when you're bored, you don't get to go to your computer and order a couple pounds. You don't order a couple pounds of ground beef from Amazon.
And ground beef, they could really step up their
should.
names. Like
Yeah.
80/20's kind of lame. Like it could be, something more extreme like
ultra mass gainer, ultra mass gainer beef.
Yeah.
And
Like that's just so much cooler than 80/20.
Then the 90/10 or the 92/8 beef will be like, or the grass fed beef will be the ultra lean shredded
lean pro performance
lean
meat prep
performance
beef.
lean prep meat.
Yeah. I think we came up with a recipe to double meat sales. We might have quadrupled packaging prices, but
The customer's going to absorb all that cost. Do we have any hot questions from our live feed here, Tanner?
No, Ryan,
Any of you nerds got anything to say?
Flying Ryan just suggested a supplement to replace water because it's too hard to drink.
Fun fact, actually, there is. So there's a product out there that a podcast that I know of hustles it quite a bit because the guy really loves it. I don't know anything about the product, never tried it, so I can't say yay or nay on it other than it like seems like nonsense. But basically, it's called Hydrus, and I think if you go to, I think it's Hydrus, just Google it, but it's Hydrus, and it's like a little concentrated shit that you add to water. Like those little Mio water tablets?
Yeah.
You add that to the water, and it's supposed to make it taste better, but it's not like all sugary or anything like that.
okay.
But they also then claim to helps make the water absorb better. And I kind of feel like that's where they lose me.
Is that a big problem with people
Like,
can't absorb
poor
water?
absorption.
Are you drinking all this water and it's just not
It's just
hanging
going
with you?
straight back into the toilet.
But no, Hydrus is a product that's out there, not quite to replace water, but to make water more drinkable. But so's whiskey.
Yeah. I mean, really any flavor of anything is kind of made to do that, I think. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Hydrus, you can send us some stuff.
I just
Email
like
us.
water anyway, so it's pretty not a
Yeah,
pretty not an issue.
I don't
for
have
me.
much trouble drinking things that
Doing
aren't
it right now.
water because I spend so much time trying to drink water every day. I don't know. That's why I don't have a pop problem anymore.
Yeah.
That's POP problem.
Without the T at the end.
But Yeah, so water's fine, Ryan. Get your shit together.
No, he said it's too wet.
It is.
Just leave it out and let it dry, and then drink it. Do we want to dig into your sack, Tanner?
Yeah.
Oh,
this might
we
be a
got
day
a little
when you
sack
guys have
treat,
to actually. Both of you, close your eyes.
All right.
I've been waiting all week for this.
Relax your pupils. Relax your eyelashes. Relax the little mustache hairs around the corner of your lips.
Hold on a second. Do this again.
Relax your earlobes. Relax your penises.
So what do we have in the sack today?
All right, funny thing. I know you guys usually like to check out what's in my sack, but I've made some changes. I no longer have a sack. I have a box.
Ah, it's a little more my flavor.
Yeah, so
Okay.
today you guys aren't going to get to see what's inside.
We're gonna
my
put
sack.
our
You
hand
gotta
in your box?
dig things straight out of my box. So here we go. You guys got your eyes closed. I'm gonna prepare my box. Get it all shaven and shorn. You guys got your peepers closed still?
Yep.
Yep. What color is this box?
On the outside, it's kind of white.
It's a khaki.
All right, are you holding your hand out there?
Should I put my hand out?
Yep.
Okay.
Good catch. Bad catch. So, any ideas of what you're holding in your...
Mine feels like macaroni and cheese in a single serving container.
Yeah, it feels like Easy Mac.
Or some sort of yogurt that has not been refrigerated.
You're correct. It's rotten yogurt.
All right, what do we got here?
Ah.
I got some FlapJacked Mighty Muffin maple pumpkin protein muffins. Looks pretty legit.
High fiber, 20 grams of protein, and it supports immune health.
If there's one thing I like, it's immune health. What do we got? What are the flavors? Now, if you tried some of the
Yeah,
you took all of the desirable flavors first?
Yep. I took the ones I wanted, and these are the leftovers for you guys to
So I
pick
was
through.
thinking, Tommy, we need to change the official Massenomics address to not Tanner's address.
Well, if these are the flavors you didn't want, I'm cool with that because s'mores, peanut butter, and double chocolate. I would.
Actually, the muffin ones, I thought all of the flavors actually look good. So
Yeah.
I had a hard time really trying to figure out a way to screw you guys over on the muffin flavors. So I was like, God, I don't know if any of these are better than the other. But the pancake batter, I definitely took the ones I like. The one I like better, I took just buttermilk.
Oh,
Gotcha.
and what do we got here? Carrot spice and banana hazelnut. I think both of those sound appetizing.
Tommy, I'm gonna let you pick which one you take. You gotta have first pick.
Okay, I'm gonna go purely off of pictures here. Let's try banana hazelnut.
You got it. Carrot spice. It is. I didn't know that carrot was a thing that went with spice.
Carrot
Is
cake,
it like
I
a
think.
pumpkin?
That's kind of
Yeah,
sounds
like-
like
yeah.
Like pumpkin.
carrot cakey.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Things.
So these are basically. This is like a protein.
Yeah, I'll give you
Batter mix.
the rundown because I have used this
Tanner's
stuff. The
been eating
pancake.
this for weeks.
Yep, I've been.
Is that why you hit a
Actually-
spot PR?
Well, they actually sent 50 bags of these samples and then giving each of you guys one. The muffins. The most interesting thing to me was these muffins that
Yeah. So how do these?
I didn't know what the
things
hell that
work?
really was at first when I opened it because I didn't. I knew they were. That,
You thought they were just muffins in a container.
Well, I didn't really know. I was so confused. I was like, I thought it made thought it was like a package of muffins that you needed to make in a muffin tin or something. But what you do is you just pop open that lid and mix in 2/3 cup of water and then stir it a little bit and microwave it for 30 seconds and it
no shit.
it just kind of rises.
It just becomes a muffin.
Crest. Yeah. And I don't know if muffin is the correct. When you get it and you have it, you're not like, this looks just like a muffin.
Yeah.
But it does.
Just
They
a
do taste
batter
good.
and
Yeah.
they're
I don't know if muffin's the first word that comes to mind, but I don't know what else you would call it. So
Mighty muffin.
yeah,
Different than your regular
Th-
muffin.
there we go.
It's the mightiest.
But they're really good. I've eaten a couple of them. I think I had some peanut butter flavored one, and the other one was chocolate something or other.
And they don't taste like chalk?
No, they taste good. They're and I think nutrition wise, it's similar to eating like a protein bar. I thought I haven't looked at it for a while, but I thought that was, it's 220 calories, 20 grams of protein.
Yeah, I mean everything's on par with a protein bar. Yeah.
It has a decent amount of carbs and fat.
There is a fair amount of sugar, but carbs and protein and
and they taste good.
Cool.
And then the pancakes, definitely different than your regular pancake. I would say you can definitely tell that it's made from quote unquote healthy ingredients.
Yeah.
Like if you're someone that strictly likes something for the taste of it, and you really like a
you like a good hearty,
like a cafe pancake.
Yeah.
Do not buy these. Yeah. Because you're going to be probably pissed off. But if you're someone that's health conscious and looking for something to have that still tastes pretty good, but maybe still kind of like a pancake, then this would be the perfect thing, I think.
Yeah. And this one actually has options for banana bread or waffles. And Tyler, I see yours has carrot cake muffins as an option on there too. So
and
it's an all-purpose batter.
I did like the pancakes too. That's good. And I remember when I got it, I read through the ingredients and I compared it to my regular pancake mix that we had in our cupboard.
Yeah.
And it did sound like this. Like the first ingredient in these is whole oat flour, and that
sounds kind of like a real thing.
Yeah, that was not the first ingredient in like my Hungry Jack pancake mix.
So that's FlapJacked. I'm assuming you can buy all this stuff online.
Yeah, you can buy it online. I think you go to
FlapJacked.com.
Yeah. We'll find out right here.
Made in America.
And they did. They sent us this stuff for free to try out. So who says that podcasts don't pay?
Yeah.
I don't gotta get groceries this week now.
Got everything I need right here.
And this doesn't seem like a real large bag, but it does make quite a few pancakes because I've had them like 3 or 4 times now, and I still hadn't finished my bag.
Oh yeah, they got all sorts of shit.
Sweet.
They got tons of stuff.
And price-wise, it's not super cheap. At first, I kind of thought the muffins were expensive, and then I thought about it in different terms. If you thought about it like buying a protein bar, it's really similar to the price of buying a protein bar. So it's just something a little bit different than that,
Yeah.
Crazy. There's no way this version is healthy. What the fuck?
I want
this
that one.
dude's got put ice cream,
a Snickers bar,
brown, fudge and whatever.
So you're saying if I microwave this, it won't turn into that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Actually, that's a really good picture.
That's wild. That thing is serious.
Well, thank you to the people at FlapJacked.
Yeah. Hey, and if anyone else would like to send us free stuff, we'll eat it.
It doesn't have to be edible.
Tyler will
we'll try out your new lifters, new shoes. We'll eat them too.
Tyler will put almost anything in his mouth.
So I'm curious what you guys think of the box versus the sack.
You know, honestly,
the box had a lot of goods in it. So
it was a pretty robust load. Yeah. Well, that's pretty sweet. Guys, did we have anything else for today? Or is that going to wrap us up for this week?
That was the box.
I think that's
I
about
don't
it.
know. Did we have any other hot articles that are out right now at this time?
No, we got other cool stuff we're working on.
Yeah, there's some really cool stuff we're really. Geez, by the time we're getting so close to the Arnold too. By this time, we're going to be like. By the time you're hearing this, we're like a month out from being Arnold bound.
Yeah, and we got Arnold. We got some guys competing. We got some guys competing in their first meet. We got some guys competing in their first meet of probably a couple of the year. So it's kind of hitting meet season for a few of us. Exciting stuff going on.
Yeah, we've got coming up the
strongman thing's coming up too.
Yeah, we've got powerlifting meet. A few guys are doing. We've got strongman competition, which is a lot of new events that we haven't messed with much.
Yeah, we could talk about those sometime, but we could probably
we're about at our time for
we'll
today.
Talk about
anyways.
those next time or something.
We'll save them up for next time, but Yeah, that'll be an interesting competition with a bunch of shit Tanner and I have not even touched. So we've talked so many times about with strongman how like a little practice goes a long way, and we basically will not have been able to practice at all. So
We might not go a long way.
definitely not. But that should do it for us today, guys. If you want to contact us, make sure you email us at getbig@massenomics.com. Also, go to massenomics.com. You can find our bottom of the page. You can sign up for email newsletter. There you'll find our store, all of our other articles, podcast episodes, all the goods. Tommy, you want to tell them about how awesome our Facebook page is?
Well, our Facebook page is pretty awesome. People like it. There's pictures on there. You can comment stuff. So, yeah, hop on there today. Check it out.
And if you come across any of these articles, like the beginner-self one or the pioneer one or any of the other cool stuff we have coming out now, you don't even have to buy something from our store, but if you could share it, that is a big help. Like that's worth probably more to us than anything else at this point.
Or like it, or tell someone about it.
Yeah,
like,
For what it's worth,
we more people.
We definitely don't make a lot of money when you buy a shirt, but it actually is probably more valuable if you just share every article.
Yeah, we get a lot out of. I mean, we're trying to get in front of more people's eyes all the time.
So we don't charge anything. We work pretty hard on all that. So if you get it, you see it, you like it, share it, click like. I think we've got YouTube channels still humming along now with all these podcast episodes there. YouTube.com/Massenomics. Subscribe while you're there.
Yeah, if you've listened to a lot of podcast episodes and you've never watched one,
you'll be shocked at how handsome we are.
Yeah, he'll be like, "Wow, those are the guys behind those voices."
They look dumber than they sound.
I didn't think it was possible. They did it.
But I'm Tyler. You can find me on Instagram at Tyler Effin Stone. That's Tyler EFFIN Stone. Tommy?
You can find me on Instagram at Tomahawk_D.
And I run the Massenomics Instagram account. That's at Massenomics on Instagram.
And nobody uses Twitter anymore. Knock it off. Thanks a lot for listening, guys.
They don't use it anymore.
Nobody does. Stay strong. Later.
You just heard the Massenomics podcast. With your ears, you're welcome. Check us out on Facebook, find us on Instagram at Massenomics, and make sure you visit Massenomics.com and buy some of that sweet Massenomics gear. From your friends at Massenomics Studio, home of the world's strongest podcast, stay strong.